my brother, hopefully my audio is good, because there's music everywhere in this freaking place I'm at, and my son's over playing in the wave pool, and he's a damn good swimmer. So I took a minute for you to pass along this video and to my viewing audience, and boy am I behind on my YouTube uploads. Maybe this will go there. Okay, so here's the situation. A friend of mine was talking to a girl online, and he already knows what I'm going to say about that. Okay, that online relationships aren't real. Okay, and I don't mean you can't start there, but eventually you have to meet them. So you can't get emotionally invested in someone until you have a face-to-face meeting and have regular face-to-face meetings. Okay, it's not real if you're not getting together. You know, so if you're talking to somebody online and flirting and you know things are going great there, you can't trust it until you meet them and you have a number of meetings and interactions with them. That's the reality of it. But we'll get into that. So basically what happened was there was a lot of discussions and I'm sure flirting and development online, and it turned into some sort of an online kind of a relationship where she's even sending him, you know, itinerary for plane tickets so that these two could get together. I assume they're in different states, and you know, was basically a IM or instant messenger relationship. I'm sure there was some FaceTiming involved and all that good stuff, whatever, maybe. Okay. Then she kind of reneges and ghosts or whatever, my understanding of what I read there, what I got looked at. And then she, like a week later, is engaged to be married and all this stuff to somebody else. Okay, so obviously she was playing two ends of the field there. She was playing for two teams, I don't know what you want to say, but she was fucking around with you online and fucking around for real in her vagina with somebody else. Okay, which sucks. Now, here's 3 facts. Okay, facts about women. I say they're facts because they are fucking facts, all right? Not because I made it up, but because they are facts based on their biological drivers. Now, we're not a slave to our biology, so a really aware, self-aware woman can take these drivers and make better decisions with them. All right, but you have to understand where the drives are and why you have to protect yourself. So one drive is hypergamy, okay? So women could mate with the best sexual options and have the best options for children. They're always looking to level up. They're always looking for the next best deal, even in a marriage, even in a relationship. Now you turn around and you are her best deal every day, and she does things within the relationship to shield herself from, you know, potential hypergamous temptations, if you will. Then then great, you can have a great monogamous relationship. But just like a guy has to put barriers up so he doesn't just fuck random broads, because the male mating strategy is to spread seed everywhere. In a monogamous relationship, a guy has to suspend that biological drive and put barriers around himself in the relationship to be with the person, right? The one person. She has to do the same thing. She has to make sure, you know, that she's not trying to level up. You know what I mean? Because the grass is never greener. You know what I mean? You have to develop with the person you're building with. If they're a good choice and the biological attraction is there, then that's what you should really, you know, gravitate towards, not just mate switching anytime things get a little hard or get a little, you know, uncertain, all right? Because that's a recipe for a lot of unhappiness. Anyway, so hypergamy, that leveling up scenario, going for the better deal, okay? So in this scenario, some guy at home that she was uncertain about is willing to put a ring on it and take care of her financially. He became the better deal, right? And so she kept you around because she was uncertain about that deal, but once that deal became more of a certain thing, then she was able to discard you like you're a piece of garbage. Which leads me to the next point, is that women are solipsistic. Solipsistic is a way to say self-interested. It's not the same as being selfish necessarily, okay? But it's kind of similar to that. They're not narcissistic. It's not a damning thing. But women throughout our biological history were reliant on the social structure around them for the raising of their kids and for resources. Women generally weren't out, hunting and killing and bringing in resources. So they learned to be, instead of going out and grabbing resources for a tribe, okay, which is self-serving, or putting themselves on the line to potentially get killed, okay, in battle, which is self-serving, that is not self-serving, but serving the community or serving other people, that's what men are used to doing. Women are used to trying to get resources for themselves and their children. This is not a bad thing, but it just means that they have a difficulty with empathy. Women don't understand. A lot of women have a hard time understanding what you're going through. Now, they're very high on sympathy, though, where guys are, not as good at the sympathy part of it. So they can feel bad for things, feel bad for people. Do you know what I mean? The feels are there. But to know what they're actually going through, put themselves in the other person's shoes, that's a little bit more difficult on a biological level for them, okay? And so this chick used you as a outlet and as an orbiter, and she had no empathy for your emotional investment. And that tends to be pretty fucking normal, all right? And something that we have to protect ourselves against as guys, whereas women have to protect themselves against the lack of sympathy from a dude. A dude might not give a shit because he's just not sympathetic to your situation, And so there's different things that a male and a female will have to do to make a relationship work when both are compromised in those departments, right? But anyways, so her solipsism or need to self-serve made her conveniently ignore the emotional investment you had in her. And that's another reason why not to do these online things, not to commit yourself to someone who doesn't demonstrate commitment worthiness, for example. It just all these things that we have to do as men, because they won't have, generally speaking, I'm not saying all women, because everyone has a brain in their head, okay? So there's a lot of women that have had a lot of experiences and have thought through this stuff, have leveled themselves up. There's women out there that have worked on this ability to try to be empathetic, but for the most part, if they're not actively trying to do that, it's just not in their nature to have that empathy for you, okay? So you got used in that sense, all right? And then leading to the third thing is that women are, in general, in need of male attention, okay? It validates them. It's their currency, because male attention in our survival, as a survival mechanism, meant resources in survival for their children. The woman in a little, in their tribe, okay, we're talking evolutionary speaking, right? So women in their tribes that didn't get positive male attention could be just discarded, killed, left behind, or not taken care of if the man that they were with died in a hunt or in battle. You see what I'm saying? But women that could get male attention could mate switch very easily. So a guy goes to war, the love of her life goes to war, dies. She needs resources for his kid or whatever. She hooks up with his brother, or she hooks up with, the neighbor or whatever it may be, and she's able to survive. So those kids and women that survived were the ones that were able to get male attention successfully. So when women are out there online and doing stuff and getting the male attention, seeking male attention, the selfies, all that stuff, I don't fault them too hard, because that is actually a biological drive. Now a really woke-ass woman will understand that drive and try not to use that to her detriment or to the detriment of others, So a great example is a woman who's, worth a little bit more than average might, instead of just posting pictures of herself and trying to get sexual attention, might try to, let's say, work a charity project and get attention for the charity project. You see what I mean? So just taking that drive, steering it in a different direction. But anyways, attention is currency for a female. It validates them. And so when they're insecure, if they're insecure in their relationship or just insecure in general, they'll seek out male attention. Online is a perfect way. I mean, this phone is basically a box of dicks for a female, all right? I mean, inside this phone, that they have are just endless dicks for them to choose from. All it takes is a clever picture or an instant message. So unfortunately, she used you for your attention, dude. You know, that was a validating point for her. She used you for her attention, for that validation. When she was feeling insecure in her real relationship she wasn't telling you about, she was using you. And she had no empathy for your emotional investment. And then she went for the better deal, which was the guy that was at home and willing to pay for her shit, marry her, and all that. Okay? So that's the video, man. That's what happened to you. Those are 3 drivers that you need to look out for. This is why you don't, like, all this shit online, dude, is fantasy. Okay, we've all done it pretty much. If you're single, you've done it. You know, you've flirted around, you've had little discussions, whatever. Some of you guys exchange photos, all that bullshit. That's cool. There's like a connection. It's the beginning maybe of something, but that's all it is. Anything else you put in there is a fantasy until you have like an interaction with this person face to face. You don't fucking know what they're about. And so you cannot put your emotional investment in it, dude. You can't. You know, and I understand the chicks around your area of operation, which, by the way, I don't believe you, because the area that you're in should be dripping with available women that are halfway decent looking and hopefully have a brain in their heads. But I get it. You know, it's an availability issue and all that, but you still, this is what happens when you get emotionally invested and it's not real and it's a fantasy. So my suggestion is next time, you know, you're talking to some girl online, cool, she's out of state, fine. Don't get emotionally invested. You can still talk to her, but until you make that point to have a meeting with her, until you guys are interacting face to face, it's just not real, man. And that goes to everybody, male, female. Until you have a face-to-face interaction, you cannot have too much of an investment. Okay, well, thanks for tuning in. I gotta go make sure my kid's not drowning, which he's not. I can see him over there. All right, thanks. Take care. Like this shit, by the way. Go to my YouTube channel. Like that too. I need to upload all these videos. All right.